Hey, welcome y'all. Welcome y'all to the third installment of the Diva Show. I had an anxiety attack last night, and so I decided that it'd be best to chronicle, like, whatever. Just kind of get off of what's been going bad. And nothing's been going bad. It just, sometimes I get these feelings that I can't stop, and I can't fix right away. They're like, end of the world type feelings, like a bomb's gonna go off in China, I need to stop it. When in fact, a bomb's gonna go off in 20 years of my life, and something bad's gonna happen, and I'm not gonna be ready for it. But I can't do anything about it, you know? It's crazy, but people struggle with this daily. I know I'm not the only one. Usually, they're fairly intelligent people, people who see the world around them for what it is and what it isn't. People who can see both sides of the spectrum know that there is life after death and all kinds of weird things that we know that keep us up at night. And I was crazy enough to think I wanted to join the Navy, and for what, you know? The uniform. I wore a uniform for, most of my life, and it was a basketball one. And I put blood, sweat, and tears, even got a freaking knee surgery out of it. As soon as I got hurt, they dropped me like a bad habit. And I hear this is what the government does to you too. Just to mark it on the calendar, today is Wear Purple Day for gay abuse. Gay bullying and shit. I mean, people don't understand that it's tough. I see all these comments and they're like, oh, the gays aren't the only one getting bullied, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but the gays are the only ones that are getting left out of the other bullies. I mean, we're all getting left out, but I mean, they don't know how hard it was. I mean, I was 14. I had my first girlfriend. I loved her very much. I mean, just the first time. She was a senior. I was a freshman. She was the one that wanted to be with me. And so I kind of just, I like attention. So I went with it. And I wrote her a love letter. And somebody found it in the middle and passed it around the whole entire school. It ruined I felt like my life was over. I felt like that was it. How am I gonna go to school tomorrow? I have to go to school tomorrow. Like, I have to go. And I didn't want to go. And I never really thought about suicide because at that point in my life, I loved myself way too much. I had way too much going for me. But and the seniors were assholes. I mean, they were. And I was, it was bad, dude. But the friends that I kept through junior high, like, they still were my friends, and they loved me, and they teased me a bit, and they wanted me to just be honest with them, because they didn't care either way. But, it's hard to just come out and say it. And as far as I was concerned, there were other gay people, but they didn't act like they didn't say, like, this is what I am, so whatever. Like, there was nobody before me to open the door, to show me how to do this. And then at the same time, my ex-girlfriend got outed, and her mom kicked her out right after she graduated, so I had a hard time coming to terms with it, and finally, my friends were just like, hey, look, this girl, she's always been real psycho with you, she's always following you around, she's always telling you what to do, she's always, she's got you, like, whooped, and I was like, yeah, it's because her mom kicked her out, and so she's telling me, now that I don't have my mom, you have to marry me, you have to be everything for me, and it was just a tough situation to be in. And then finally, I remember the day that I got outed with that letter. Celeste, my current and future wife, my current girlfriend and fiance, future wife, been together for a long time, we're going on 8 years. She came up to me that same day, like after I was waiting for my ride to go home, for my mom to pick me up. She had no idea what was going on, and she came up to me and she just said, hey, how are you? How's it going? And I just picked up my head and I nodded my head, and she says, well, I'm still your friend, we're still friends, right? I looked at her, just kind of nodded. My mom pulled up, and I left. Well, she told me that when that letter was there, she realized that, she was attracted to me, and that, she liked me she was interested in the fact that I like girls, and so maybe that I could like her. She had a boyfriend and everything, but it's never gonna stop me. It's never gonna stop anyone from getting what they want. And so that's how I was outed, and I really never got to come out and say it. I think the most comfortable I ever got was when I was a junior, because I was really good friends with the seniors, so I didn't get any teas, and I was already an upperclassman, so the underclassmen were a lot more impressionable. I had more of a reputation, as easygoing, cool, kind of sassy, kind of, I held my own. I teased a bit, but yeah, and then I come to find out, after I come out my senior year, I finally get with my current girlfriend Celeste at the beginning of my senior year, and all these people were just coming out to me and saying, thank you for, your girlfriend's hot, good for you, and all these people who wound up having those feelings finally saw that it was being accepted, and even when it wasn't, I stood up to the administration. I stood up to people, and my parents, my mom, she stood right up with me. Even though she was mad that I was stirring the pot, she stood up right with me and did that. So they kept, in the underclassmen, it was just, I think everybody just got a sense that it was okay. And this one girl, her name was Disney, and she wound up taking her own life because, of other issues. Hopefully it wasn't because of that. It wasn't because she was gay and whatever, because she was openly with some other girls who are also close friends of mine, underclassmen, and they were openly able to have a relationship and let it work out and have a healthy, sort of normal relationship where they got to experience everything that couples experience in high school and stuff. And so that's pretty cool. I mean, I took my girlfriend to the prom, and they couldn't stop me. They couldn't stop me. I think that my presence was just too big for them to just say, you know what, you guys can't do this, you can't be here. I think the whole place would have gone up in flames. I mean, there would have been a riot because, it was a small school, so we were really close people. We were really close friends, and Celeste, my girlfriend, was voted most beautiful, which is, it's a popularity contest, and we won that. I didn't run for anything because I had graduated back in December, and so, she was vice president of the class, so that didn't phase, she was popular, but not until she got with me. No, I'm just kidding. That didn't phase anybody at all. I mean, I think more it interested people, and it made us seem a little bit more normal than diva-ish, hey, these people are normal, they're just like us. We're all perfectly flawed, if you want to call it that, but, everybody's got their vice, their niche, their little trick, their niche, And so, I just want to go out and say that it gets better. I mean, if I go back to that day thinking it was the worst day of my life, but at the same time, these people who actually did have the worst day of their life and took their lives. I mean, I have contemplated taking my own life over girls, but not because of what you think, not because of discrimination, it's because the girls drive you crazy, and I don't know why I'm a lesbian, and I don't know why I love them, because they're so difficult, and men are so easy. They're like raising dogs. No offense to men, but I mean, and the same thing with guys. They're like, oh, girls are just like puppies, men are dogs, girls are puppies. So I just want to take this time to say it gets better, and I hope that you know that, and I pray that you know that. And TrevorProject.org. I've never been there, but I saw this man speak from the bottom of his heart, and about this 13-year-old boy who went and took his own life. Several sad stories. I'm just one of them that came out on the other side because it got better. So, amen to that, right? Alright, well, I start.